Brad Holmes is a genius. Brad Holmes goes on Good Morning Football and does an interview, and what he did was epic genius move, something that we've not seen from a general manager in a long time. This is something that us fans always want them to do. Bob Quinn was the absolute opposite. He did an interview, and we're going to go over it. First off, we're going to talk about embracing the villain. Love this new concept they're doing in Detroit. We're going to go over the interview, of course, free agent quarterback targets, because that was one of the biggest parts of the interview, and drafting quarterback targets. Where could the Lions make a draft? Well, if you like Detroit Lions content and you want to see this channel grow, help me out and smash that like button. Really easy to do, free to do so. So we have a new swag here in Detroit, and it's very evident we've seen from last year with Jamal Williams, Deshaun Elliott, and just everybody. But Brad Holmes does an interview, and he's got a shirt on, and it says villain on there with the Lions logo. And he talked about how they're putting that in the facility. He didn't explain really what this means, but I think we all understand what it means. It means it's pretty much Detroit versus everybody. Players like the Micah Parsons and Devin McCourty, all these doubters, we're going to be the physical team. We're going to be the bad guys. Now, if you remember WWE or WCW, Scott Hall embraced the bad guy. Absolutely love it. That's what he did there, and I think that's what the Detroit Lions are going to do here. Embrace that. He's bringing a swag, and it's starting top down from Sheila Ford, Brad Holmes, and Dan Campbell. Their confidence. And guess what? They breed confidence right now, and they want players that have that massive confidence and that swag to them. So I got a question for you. Do you like this new Lions swag? I sure as hell do. But guess what? That's just me. Let me know in the comments section below, do you love this new swag? Let's get into one of the comments and the main topic of this video, talking about the quarterback position. This is what Brad Holmes said. It just has to make sense, obviously. We like Jared, talking about drafting a quarterback. He's our starter, Holmes continued. We don't have a lot behind him. Talking about the backup role, Holmes continue. We're kind of sliding into home plate at the very end of training camp, trying to find the backup quarterback last year with the Tim Boyle and David Blau thing. We were able to get Nate Sudfeld, and he did a nice job for us. But we've had these open and transparent conversations about we're happy with Jared. He's our starter, but we need to add some pieces, plural, in that room. We need a quarterback to develop. Now, I agree 100% when it comes to the Detroit Lions would like to get a quarterback in free agency, but in the draft as well. I talked about it about 2 weeks ago. I was told they would be absolutely stunned if the Detroit Lions did not draft a quarterback. Absolutely stunned if they didn't upgrade the quarterback 2 position in free agency. So this is what I fully expect. The Lions are going to sign a good free agent quarterback to back up Jared Goff if there's an injury, and they are going to draft and develop a young quarterback. So we're going to go through 5 quarterbacks the Lions could target in free agency, and 5 quarterbacks they can go ahead and get in the draft. Also, tidbit to this. What makes this a genius move? Something that former GM didn't know what to do. Regardless if they want to take a quarterback early or not, that has nothing to do with this part. They just let the NFL know, yeah, well, we'll go ahead and take quarterback. Even if they're completely bluffing, you know what that does? It does 2 things. Teams that are desperate to get a quarterback will jump the Detroit Lions to get, say, if they want to get an Anthony Richardson. And that pushes talent down towards the Detroit Lions. And if a quarterback is sitting there at pick 6, teams may think, damn, the Lions could draft a quarterback. Let's see if we can trade with the Lions. The Lions can do a trade down scenario. Epic, genius move. That's what you want from a general manager. But let's get into 5 quarterbacks the Lions could get in free agency. And I'm starting here at number 5. Taylor Heinicke, quarterback from the Washington Commanders. He played a lot of starting time over there in Washington. He would be a great backup for the Lions. He's got that swag to him. He's got that confidence, and he's a gritty SOB. That would be perfect for Dan Campbell. He's exactly what the Lions are looking for, that gritty guy that will fight. And they're trying to get players that fit what the Lions do. He's one of those guys. Comment right now. What free agent quarterback do you want the Detroit Lions to sign in free agency? Name one quarterback that you want the Lions to pick up in free agency. Any name. Let's continue on to my number 4 quarterback the Lions could go ahead and get in free agency here. And that is quarterback Mike White from the New York Jets. A gritty SOB, takes a lot of hits. Very confident. I think he would be a good one for Detroit. Another guy who has starting experience, who would come in if Jared Goff gets hurt, and you can rely on him to hold the fort down for a game or 2. My number 3 free agent quarterback is Gardnew Minshew, another guy who's had starting experience, and I honestly don't think it's going to cost as much as you would expect, because I feel like the hype around him has fallen a little bit. He's had the experience. He is got that swag, very swagoo type of guy. I think he would fit under the Lions' new mantra very well. Another player the Lions could target as my number 2 quarterback the Lions could go after. How about Sam Darnold? He's still young, a lot of starting experience. He's not going to push Jared Goff. But again, if the Lions need somebody to come in for a game or 2, I'm confident that he can do it. He did well against the Lions this year. And it's not going to cost a lot. In all honesty, when you look at Spot Track for him, right now we're talking about a 2-year, $10 million deal. He's ranked 32 in the quarterback ranking, so that's a damn good quarterback too. We're talking $5 million per year. That's not that bad. In all honesty, if you're looking for a quarterback that can hold the fort down. My number 1 quarterback free agent I would like the Lions to target is Cooper Rush. I talked about him last year endlessly. Cooper Rush has really good starting experience for the Dallas Cowboys. Hell, they got a point where they're talking about, hey, who's better, him or Dak Prescott? Now, I think Dak Prescott is better. But when you look what he did last year for his starting job there, he had 58.7 QBR, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Again, if we're talking about a guy who the Lions need to get to help hold that fort down, he would be that. He would, because we're going on a playoff run. The last thing we need is Jared Goff to get injured and we automatically lose. So, again, in the comment section, let me know who is a quarterback you would like the Detroit Lions to sign in free agency. Maybe it's somebody else like a Marcus Mariota or a Carson Wentz. Let me know in the comment section. It's not just about quarterbacks in free agency. When he was talking, I'm 100% confident they're going to draft a quarterback. I don't know what round. It could be predominantly 3 and down. That's kind of my feeling what it would be, more developmental. Again, round 3, I have one guy. 5 and 6, I think that's probably where they target a developmental quarterback. But maybe they go crazy here. So here's top 5 quarterbacks, not generally who they would go after, but per round. Anthony Richardson here, this would be a round 1 guy. I do not think the Detroit Lions draft him. But he is an option. He's flying up draft boards. And he may be available at 6. He may not even be. And thank you to Brad Holmes. If Brad Holmes did this for a team to jump up there and get him, he's great. He's a fantastic pushing talent down. But let's get into the realistic possibilities here for the Lions. This one's kind of unrealistic. I'm still on the downside, but realistic here. If we're talking about a developmental quarterback, Hendon Hooker would be just that. This guy is an extremely accurate quarterback. He is. He had a really good career there with the Tennessee team. And when you look at Hendon Hooker, this is a guy who's extremely accurate. He can sit behind QB2. He's injured, so you don't have to worry about him having to even play this year at all. He would be a red shirt. Brad Holmes is all about getting value, even if the player's injured. We've seen it. We know this, right? We had the all-injured team. He can somebody that can just sit there and develop and heal up. He would be a value pick in round 3. We're talking about before his injury, he was a late first, early second rounder. Now with his injury, he could fall the 3rd round. I think that would be an absolute value pick for the Detroit Lions. Another realistic possibility here is Jake Haener, quarterback from Fresno State. I liked him even before the Senior Bowl, but when the Senior Bowl happened, he was extremely accurate. He was the Senior Bowl MVP, pretty much. He was the highest riser in the Senior Bowl. He showed his accuracy and his poise. He would be a fantastic developmental quarterback in round 5. Initially, I had him 6 or 7, but after the Senior Bowl, I think he's a late 4, early 5 guy. Value pick for sure for the Lions. A great developmental guy, and I honestly think that is a guy they legitimately could target for sure. No doubt about it. Right now, what round do you want the Detroit Lions to draft a quarterback? Let me know in the comments section. It's going to be the pinned comment for this video. Rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Yeah, we don't have a 4th round pick, but you never know. Maybe they trade and get one. So let me know in the comments below. Next quarterback the Lions could target. How about Clayton Tune out of Houston? This guy was amazing. His stats was off the chart. Now, Senior Bowl was lackluster, but it is the Senior Bowl. So this is what he did in college. He had a 75.6 QBR, 4,000 passing yards, 40 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. The guy did it on the field. And again, we're talking about a round 6 quarterback. A hell of a developmental guy. Another quarterback, the Lions, my last one on this list, is Dorian Thompson-Robinson out of UCLA. I like what he did for UCLA. This would be a late 6th round pick. He is raw, but he's athletic, and he can pass the football. A great developmental guy if you're looking at your final pick in round 1. That's what I got here, guys. Let me know what you think about these quarterbacks. Put in a quarterback that I didn't put for the draft. Name some quarterbacks, and we got videos dropping every single day. You got to hit that notification bell. News is going to drop. We have free agency coming up real quick. You don't want to miss out on none of that at all. You just don't. So with that said, folks, leave you with the greatest words ever told. That is adios.